So I would like to talk about a new palette today called the Pathfinder. Pathfinder is very handy, as you will see, when you're doing the backs of garments. And in technicals, if there's going to be a front, you're going to want to see the back as well. Okay, so first of all, you find Pathfinder, you pull down the window menu, and you will see the link to Pathfinder, which is there. And this is what the palette looks like over here. It does several things. The first one I want to use is the first one under shape. So what I'm going to do is you'll see I have a front and a back here on my shirt technical. I'm going to Control C, Control V, my front. At the moment, I have it grouped. I'm fine to leave it that way. You can ungroup it if you need to, but at this point, I just have the whole front of my shirt. Now, what I like to do is click on the first option on Pathfinder, and you'll see what that does is it creates the outline of the entire artwork, whereas my original shape was a series of different pieces, right? Right, like if I take that apart, you see I have various pieces of my garment, which is closer to garment construction, right? And I have my sewing lines sewn in, and I have my little section for the back to create that gray. That doesn't help me when I want to draw the back. So it is very handy to use Pathfinder to create the outline of all of these shapes. And then I just went in and I drew in some lines, right? Like that is literally that outline with just some lines drawn on it to give me the back of my garment. And it's that easy. All right. So that is one very important use for Pathfinder. The other one is when you want to do things that are cut out, like a button. You'll see I've got my little buttons here. And this is my button artwork. That's the original size, and this is it blown up. You'll see I have these. It's a series of shapes, one on top of each other. I have a bunch of circles to create my button. Now I want to have a cutout where those 4 buttonholes are. So to do that, I'm going to use another part of the Pathfinder tool. I'm going to marquee the entire button group that I've got. I'm going to head down to this one. So it's second row, the first choice. And what that does is it does like a little cookie cutter cutout, as you will see. Now, the only trick is you have to ungroup it because it will look like nothing has happened, right? But once you ungroup it, you will see that it has now been pulled into a bunch of different shapes and it's cut it out. So I don't need the inside of my buttonhole, the buttons anymore. I just only want the rest of it. So then I can use my align tool, align center and horizontal, and look at that. I have a beautiful button and I'm going to group that. And you can see it is now cut out. Put that on top. So you can see that that is a cutout hole for that buttonhole. So those are the 2 major uses I have for the Pathfinder tool.